Hi, I'm here with Lara Eardley, pelvic floor strength teacher and author of the book, The Jade Egg. Lara, how can you help women who are having trouble with their pelvic floor?
Well, Joe, I can help women incredibly who are having issues with their pelvic floor in a number of ways. So I can help women become empowered and learn to not live in their head, but to live in their body, because we actually live in our head most of the time and not in our body. I can also help women be continent for life, or if women have incontinence, I can help them learn dynamic pelvic floor exercises to eradicate that. And actually my greatest passion is preventing and curing pelvic organ prolapse, which you may or may not know. Women actually, as we age, and men, our organs have a natural tendency to descend out of the body, and the uterus, bowel and bladder can come out of the body. So that's my greatest passion, because actually women have their organs removed. They have hysterectomy, partial or complete hysterectomy. So I'm very interested in people having a continent life, because you may or may not know that incontinence is the main cause of people going to aged care, not dementia. So it's an absolute epidemic. So the problem is that, and also I can help women increase their libido, because these exercises, because women typically have a lower libido than men, and they don't actually know that. So you heat up your libido by palpating the pelvic floor muscles. So you become incredibly, you can become also incredibly fit in the bedroom. So there's a number of reasons, and it depends how deep you want to go, because if you go back to early religious foundations of these initial pelvic floor exercises, we're looking at spiritual enlightenment and awakening the chakras and energies that you may or may not know, called the kundalini or jing chi, which is called sexual energy. But this is also important for celibate, originally from celibate Buddhist monks. So, you know, learning dynamic pelvic floor exercises in the conservative way that I do teach it actually makes you not only embodied, but it makes you very, very powerful. That's really where our power is. But unfortunately, it's extremely taboo, and there's no education or no ethical education. There's a lot of lewd education. There's a lot of overly, morbidly sexualized education, but there's no real conservative education. So I like to very conservatively empower women, and I think that's the greatest issue, getting the knowledge out there. Sometimes even, I was invited to teach in Dubai a few years ago, because it's so epidemic that at some stage, 80% of people at some stage in their life will suffer from pelvic floor dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 women, 1 in 8 men, and 1 in 2 women over 50. But you're never going to talk about it, Maybe if you're a bold person, you would talk about it. But I guarantee you, Joe, there's women and men in your life silently suffering this incredible disorder, incredibly debilitating disorder, because they're ashamed. So they'll prefer to go and secretly buy a packet of incontinence pads than come and be ethically empowered and educated. So it's not only that you want to come because you are incontinent, you want to come because you never want to be incontinent. So it's funny, I was in the post office the other day, and I was going to be interviewed on the community radio, and the lady said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm teaching dynamic pelvic floor exercises." And because I'm bold, I've been doing it for 9 years, and then there was silence in the post office, And when I walked out of there thinking, oh, you shouldn't be afraid of dynamic pelvic floor exercises. You should be afraid of incontinence. So that's really my passion.
Yeah, and I love that. You come across with this, you've got this gorgeous voice, and you're a beautiful woman, and some of us might actually be a little scared of coming to you for something that is quite conservative, but I know actually you are a conservative person. And tell me that story about the word vagina.
People don't understand. People think we're going to look at our private parts. Like, no way, I don't even look at my own, right? I mean, seriously. I did not say the word vagina until I was 30. Until I realized I could help people. And I remember when I started saying it, of course I say it boldly and confidently now, but in the beginning I would stutter or my voice would shake. It didn't come naturally to me. I went to an all-girls boarding school. You know, I've been very conservative, and I am still very conservative. But one of my students said the other day, "Oh, you're such a prude," and I was like, "You really actually know me. I am." Nobody can see that. People don't see that about me. But I'm very extremely conservative.
Yeah.
And I've taught Supreme Court judges before, and of course also when they come to my doorstep. I mean, we can say, or in aged care, you know, the last generation, we can call it private parts. But when we come down to individuating the front, the middle, the back, and the left and the right quadrants, we really need to talk about the actual anatomical name. And that's why it's a silent disorder, because people are ashamed of talking about these really the most powerful parts of their body. And it is the most sacred parts of their body, but I take great care so that I can do the most healing work that I can and reach the largest audience. So I take great care not to vulgarize the work, because I think that, you know, that would lose so many puritanical people like myself. I always think about how I would like it to be approached, you know, and I like it to be very graceful. I like it practically to be religious, to be honest.
Yes. Well, it is an area that's easy to vulgarise, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at the serious amount of pornography out there. I mean, and it's so easy to go down that vein. It's like walking on a razor's edge. I'm trying to do this move this big mountain for people and do this amazing work so that you can feel powerful, confident in your body as you age, you know, in the bedroom. You can have good increased libido. And then there's a razor's edge, like, you know, like I said, people were asking me, are we going to look at our private parts? So like that falls on the side of pornography, you know, and then I'm trying to walk this graceful ground, and then people say, well, you know, maybe that's not child friendly. But I teach children as young as 9 who wet the bed, and of course you have to be very conservative and very matter of fact and very graceful about it. So I've, you know, I guess I pray very hard to my understanding of God to be, you know, authentic and to be beautiful about a very difficult subject. I had no idea, because I know it's epidemic out there, right? But I had no idea that it was going to be such a struggle. I just thought everybody's going to want to get well, you know?
Yeah.
But people are ashamed. A lot of people prefer to suffer than to get well. Please, if that's you out there, please come and see me, because you're going to feel great. I give you a money-back guarantee that you're going to feel fabulous after coming to see me. Absolutely fabulous. And even if you only come just to learn the movements, because you want to know that your body has, you know, if you couldn't move your fingers, you want to know that you can move your fingers.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. You want to know that you can do it just for your own, because you're fantastic, you know? It's like, wow, I can really do that. I'm so clever, you know?
Yeah.
The body is
we
amazing.
are fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, you're fantastic.
So you've been doing it for 9 years. How did you get involved? What led you to it?
Well, it's very interesting. It's a series of coincidences. So a lot of more coincidence and coincidence and coincidence. So I was actually a nationally recognized sculptor. I did the meditation room in the John Hunter Hospital. I was deeply into religious studies, specifically Hinduism and Buddhism, which is, in Hinduism, we awaken, and I was very interested in the secrets, you know, in the bowels of the Lara. What are the secrets of particularly awakening this energy called Kundalini for enlightenment? I was really interested in enlightenment, but now that I am enlightened, it's all right. Aren't we all, right? And I was interested in colour therapy, so I was interested in imbuing the viewer of my artwork with colour. So interesting. I had these exhibitions at St Vincent's and 7 major hospitals in Sydney, and they would put like the specific piece and the specific colours that I would choose for, actually I've just realised now, actually for incontinence, and I didn't know anything about that then. They would actually put it outside the urology department, or even the blue water piece I did, they would actually put that out where people were having throat surgery or issues with their, you know, thyroid. And I just thought, that is divine providence. But so then, this awakening of the Kundalini, the most direct way to do it actually is by dynamic pelvic floor palpations. Then I had the birth of my son, which I don't really want to use it as an excuse, because we always say, oh, pelvic floor is so weak after childbirth. But I teach girls as young as 16, children 9. The pelvic floor is weak before childbirth. It is weaker after childbirth, or that's when we notice it. So I couldn't jump on the and another coincidence, I love trampolining. It's my favourite sport. It's my favourite sport. Can you believe it? So my husband at the time bought me a trampoline, and I would trampoline for 5 minutes and run to the bathroom. Trampoline for 5 minutes and run to the bathroom, and then I was like, wow. So then I started upping my practice and really palpating these pelvic floor muscles, and then I started to learn to individuate them, and I became very strong in my own body. And then I started to talk to my girlfriends, and I realized I had this epiphany that I can help millions and millions of women, men as well, but I didn't care about them for a long time because, that was just, the journey was just that way. So then when
but it is helping men as well. Through helping women, it's definitely helping men.
And I actually like to teach my students to teach their men. I'm that conservative because I think, and they go back and they're so empowered, and they're like, actually, I'm the one that's superior in the bedroom, and I'm going to teach you, and I love doing that. And I think that keeps it private, you know. I have been asked to teach at the men's shed, but I like the privacy of telling you to go and teach your man, and then it keeps that knit together. So when I realized that I could help millions of women and men, then I thought, I do sculpt now. It is a great passion of mine. But because I can help so many people, then I have to go on this other journey, and then I had to learn to say the word vagina. It's like, oh my God, really? So I had to learn to say that because I knew that I had these gifts that I could help people. Then I had to make an ethical language about how to move the front, the middle, and the back. I actually learned in my own body to move 3 independent sections of the vaginal chamber and perform advanced crossway squeezes and flexes. Then I was like, oh, you're serious, Lord? Now I have to find a language that's going to be suitable for the most conservative people to get well. And, so you can come and see me, but if you're afraid, you can read my book in the privacy of your own home, and I'm doing an audio, and I've done this damn film 4 times, but, I looked so fat and ugly last time. Did I look like that? I was going to say I looked like someone, but she's actually a beautiful woman. But anyway, and then so I filmed that 4 times. So I'm on this journey.
You filmed that 4 times and you haven't got it out there yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm on it, ladies.
Great, because my favourite film, my favourite one, my favourite take, I'm fuzzy. I'm all fuzzy. And I always wish I could go back because I did such beautiful teaching then, so you could watch me fuzzy. Maybe. So then I went and studied. So then I thought, the doctors are going to come and ask me serious questions, and I need to learn anatomy, pelvic floor anatomy, function and dysfunction. So then I studied at the Herman Wallace Institute, and I studied from a number of the world leaders in incontinence, but I like to call it continence because incontinence is such a negative word. So I studied with the leaders of continence in the world, and I have drawn all of that together with my own embodiment, and I've created this book, and I live and breathe it. It's all I ever think about. But I had no idea what a marketing nightmare it would be. I thought people would flock to me. And like I said to you earlier, if you're looking at 100% of people are incontinent, only 20% of those suffering people will seek help. And let's think about it. As we age, I mean, we're gorgeous women, right? But as we age, we have to deal with our wrinkles. That's bad enough. Who wants to have someone change our diaper in aged care? That is a degrading way to end a glorious, powerful life. So you've got to keep your power in your body, and you've got to go to your deathbed nice and confident and strong.
Yes, absolutely. So can you give us, perhaps, would there be one exercise we could do, or just something really simple that we could do right now?
I teach this all the time, and it's the most powerful exercise that you can do. And if the thing is, so it's called the perineal lift. So you need to the problem is you live in your head, right? So you have to think about your perineum, and you have to think about your beautiful, amazing pelvic floor muscles instead of like, I don't want to go there, I don't even want to think about them. You can't do that. I don't want to think about them. So you've got to think, it's like a house. What's the most important part of a house? Is it the roof or is it the floor? So this is the floor of your body, okay? And it's where you sit on a bicycle seat. So you've got to think about where you sit on a bicycle seat, and you've got to see if you can move that up and down in your body. If you have a problem, you roll up a towel and sit on it like you're sitting on a horse or on a bicycle seat. So it's your crotch, okay? So and it's stronger when you're sitting down. So you could lean forward, or even like where we're sitting on the seat now. The thing is, I would know if you could do it because I could see your body moving, you know, and you're exceptional at it, Joe. So, yay, cool. There's so much more than that. You see, if you never did any other exercise, the most important exercise, and you really should learn them all for your own empowerment.
Yeah.
But if you never did any other exercise, you would do what I call the golden exercise, or the pinnacle, or the prima donna, you know. So, and it's called the perineal lift. Some people call it a Kegel exercise, and I dread that because Dr. Arnold Kegel was getting women to open and close their vagina, laying down with an instrument in the body, measuring the contraction. But he was actually a bit of a misogynist, and he wasn't actually very nice to women. So we'll want to stop calling it a Kegel exercise because that's his surname. The anatomical name for it is the perineum. So think about where the perineum is. You can Google it. It's where you sit on a bicycle seat. It's a hard, musculofibrous tenderness, like it's like a cross in the bottom in your crotch. Sometimes they cut it when you have a child.
Yes.
But it repairs itself. I can see there was too much of a yes there. It repairs itself even in a matter of weeks, no matter what your age, and it has the ability to strengthen at any age,
right.
even in a matter of weeks, depending on your strength. So, it's the most amazing part of your body. The Taoists say that it's where we go out of our body when we die. Yeah, spiritually. So that's high-end practice. So thinking about getting out of your head, where you're sitting on your seat. And if I saw your body moving, I can see you moving. So it's very private practice. You can do it anywhere, at the post office, in the car, anytime you need it, okay? So without the body moving, we'll do it together right now because we're so good at it, right?
Okay.
So you would try to lift up and away from the chair, or like relax your body, relax your pelvic floor muscles, move away from your head, down into your perineum where you're sitting on the chair, and move up, away, in the privacy of your own body, and lift the muscles up and away up to heaven.
And smile.
Always smiling. You know, it makes you relax the pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And then you could do it again. So you try to lift up and away from the chair. You must feel it in your body. And so maybe you can't feel it at first, but I guarantee you, do it for 5 minutes. If you can't feel it for 5 minutes, don't worry. Just do it. I'm telling you, just do it. If you can't feel it for 10 minutes, if you can't feel it for 2 days, then you're in trouble, and you need to keep doing it. So don't worry if you can't do it, just do it. Usually it comes in 20, 40, 50. You have these aha moments and you go, I kind of see what she's talking about now. I can kind of feel it. And then there's a lot of different ways to do it. For people that are weak, like let's say you're weak in the beginning, or for people that are trying for the first time to do this exercise, I tell you now, if you're moving up and down, that's your glutes. So people think that's the largest muscle mass in the skeletal system, but it's not. The largest muscle mass in the skeletal system is the pelvic floor basket. Remember, floor of a house. It holds all of the body's organs in it. It holds up the entire torso. Apart from the limbs, it's holding the weight of the entire torso, and supports every movement that you make, and it's got the most work to do. So you try in the beginning the one that gets the blood flowing, and that gets the sensation to give you this, I kind of sort of understand now, is the quick palpation. So relax your body, always smiling. And we would lift up and down, up and down. And you want to do it like you're dancing. So you want to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. I can tell you're a good dancer. Dancing will never be the same again if you practice your pelvic floor palpation. That is the golden exercise. If you never do any other, because that one's going to strengthen all the other muscles in your body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So we could talk for hours about this, but
weeks, months,
how
9 years
we contact you?
You can contact me on my website, which I hope it's not too intimidating for you. It's called pelvicfloorstrength.com. You can telephone me 0435 268 066. If you're afraid, you can buy the book and follow my website, because the audio is coming out, and you can help me do the film again.
Yes.
For the sake of all you beautiful women and men as well. So you can contact me, or you could email me, Lara at pelvicfloorstrength.com. And if that's scary and you just simply want to be sexy and increase your libido, you can contact me, Lara at sexyyoga.com.au, because it's not just for continence, it's also to be sexy.
Yes, yes.
Which you are all sexy.
Thanks.
Gorgeous sexy. Just like you.
Yeah. I just want to have her around so that she can tell me how wonderful I am.
Yeah, we can do that.
Thanks so much, Lara. It has been fantastic chatting with you today. And I think we'll have to get some more from Lara. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Tuning in. I didn't say thank you to you, though.
That's okay.